The mighty Lionesses will take a stand against the racism directed at one of their star players in their semi-final clash against Italy in the Euros tonight.
Yeah, the squad has decided not to take the knee, arguing the anti-racism gesture is not as strong as it used to be, and demanding more action to stop the kind of abuse that defender Jess Carter has experienced. So, what do we think about taking the knee? Should England stop doing it? Has it lost its meaning, or does it still have power?
Joining us now is Shaista Aziz, co-director of a quality campaign group, The Three Hijabis, who believes symbolism is not good enough to tackle this problem. And Iman Aiton, who's heavily involved in London's Black Lives Matter marches, he says it's still a powerful act of solidarity. So, Shaista, they are making the right call not to take the knee tonight.
I think they are. So, to be clear, taking the knee is a really powerful international symbol of anti-racism. It was reinvigorated after the Black Lives Matter movement, as we all remember, and it's really, really important. But I think what the Lionesses are saying here to football in particular is that they can't just depend on powerful symbolism. They actually need to do something. There needs to be a concrete action plan to tackle racism in the game. You know, here we are in another international competition, and this time it's the England women's national football team where a black player is being abused. The last time this happened was when the England men were being abused under Gareth Southgate. What has football been doing during that time? We would argue absolutely not been doing enough, and that is why we're behind the Lionesses in terms of why they're saying they don't want to take the knee.
What do you make of this? Is it no longer any use because it's lost the power?
Thank you, Kate. I think that's a really excellent question. In all fairness, I think that, first and foremost, it's taking of the knee is merely a visual expression of one's kind of freedom in terms of expressing themselves. So, in other words, you can express yourself vocally and you can express yourself visually. And if you are limited in the ways that you can express yourself, if you are a footballer, athlete, actor and more, you have limitations, parameters that you must work within as those different individuals within those different institutions. And so what I would say is, when you decide to lead with a visual manifestation of your expression of self. We're in England, we believe in freedom of expression, freedom of speech, right? This is what they're doing. They're limited. Footballers can't just say what you want to say and can't say what you want to say, can't say what you want to say, can't say what I want to say without their career or jobs being compromised as a result. And so, therefore, they have to work within limited perimeters. And so, therefore, we are now at the point where you have to lead with visual expressions of oneself and what it is that you believe in. So I believe that Lionesses and everyone else who believes in taking the knee is trying to express themselves visually, and that is no more significant or no less important than any other expression that includes vocal expression. So in other words, vocal expression and visual expression, exactly the same. It all comes from freedom of speech. Am I lying? This is not the UK. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, visual and vocal is the same. Am I lying? Did I lie?
No.
Did I lie?
Not at all.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Did I lie?
I suppose,
All right.
is it the fact that, though, the team feels that not enough have been done, despite this happening since 2020, as you say, Black Lives Matter reinvigorated an awareness and made more and more groups do it very publicly. Is it the fact that the abuse is still going on? Is it the fact that it feels like maybe it's lost its power?
Yes, I appreciate that. I think it has. I think the novelty is the word that I'd like to refer to. The novelty has wore off. Is it just as powerful? Well, yes, of course it is. Because it ultimately inspires, educates and highlights racism for those that are connected to that very dynamic. So it does a service to certain cohorts within our society. There are other cohorts that feel real uncomfortable and get real emotional. Lots of emotions. You know what I'm saying? They get real emotional when you highlight racism. So the only reason why it pertains to accurate points such as it being divisive or problematic or contentious is because those cohorts, they don't quite appreciate the fact that racism is a real thing and we should continue talking about it, and they feel real uncomfortable because their emotions and their feelings get hurt as a result.
Interesting question, Shay, to you, because, you know, the kind of powerful argument that the visual and the vocal have the same impact. Elliot says to us by email, yes, England shouldn't kneel anymore. It's time to stand up against racism. I mean, he's saying that standing somehow is better visually.
Well, this is a really interesting point. So taking the knee started in the US, and it was US athlete Colin Kaepernick who decided to take the knee, and this was because he refused to stand up for the US national anthem.
Should I start? May I interrupt? I do apologise because I really adore you and we had a very good connection in the green room, so I don't want to interrupt you. But may I just say, it didn't actually start with that athlete in basketball. It actually started with Martin Luther King in 1965,
I was
where
about
he
to get
took
to
the knee during the Selma March. That was in 1965, and ever since then we have continued to do so as black, brown and white people in terms of being inspired.
And it became...
stop talking
No, thank you for that, Iman. Thank you for that. But it became more into public consciousness when Colin Kaepernick did it, and he said he decided to do it because he couldn't stand for the national anthem because of the level of racism, the legacy of slavery and the day-to-day realities of what it means to be a black man in the US and a black woman in the US. So that's the context behind how sporting stars got involved. So I think what's really important here is to really understand that racism is thriving in our society. We're coming up to the 1-year anniversary now of the race riots in the UK, which were devastating. And 5-year anniversary as well.
So, you know, protest organisers
of Black Lives Matter as well. So the point here is that this isn't just about what happens on a football pitch, it's about what happens in real life, what happens in society. But I think it's really important the Lionesses are raising awareness of this because we're all talking about it. And really their point here is they're telling football to get their act together.
So may I just...
we all like that.
Have we got enough time so I can add a quick little point?
Go for it.
I've got like 30 seconds. I'm going to say it. So the reason why I'm upset, first and foremost, I appreciate that the novelty has worn off. It has worn off for those that don't want to hear about racism in Britain. It's worn off for them, but it's worked perfectly fine for the black, brown and white people that have continued to utilise the very quote-unquote performative gesture that has allowed them to inspire, educate and highlight racism.
Well,
so, yes, I appreciate...
Who's saying that,
Sorry?
But it's Jess Carter who's saying it doesn't work for her.
OK. And I think that's so important. May I? First and foremost, let's just remember this is about the Lionesses. If there is Jess Carter, a lioness who says, this is not working for me personally as a black, brown person, this isn't working, then we should therefore take that into consideration, humble ourselves and try to adapt and adjust as a result without forgetting the fact that there is another nuance that I'm trying to explain, which is, if you don't know, let me just say it real quick, Kate, if you... I'll put it a different way. It is a sign of madness to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. That is a sign of insanity. Albert Einstein, favourite quote of mine. There's another quote. Conversely, consistency is always the best teacher.
Well, wise words. Good to talk to you and good to talk to you as well. We will see the Lionesses who, as you have certainly re-highlighted and call to action to football generally. Tonight, they're taking on Italy in the semi-final with coverage beginning at 7 p.m. here on ITV1 and ITVX.
And may I say, go Lionesses, bring it home quick.
And so do I. I will say that as well. Let's go.
Guys.
Inspire the women who understand institutionalised racism and inspire the black people that understand institutionalised racism. Let's go. Do your take the knee and kill it as women. Let's go.